This video will show you how to join datasets together. A join creates a new dataset from existing datasets by relating the records in those existing datasets in particular ways that you specify. Let's first look at the most common types of joins, inner joins and outer joins. In this example, we'd like to join together two existing datasets, the orders dataset and the returns dataset. To do this, create a new data worksheet and then drag the two datasets from the left panel into the data worksheet grid. To preview the data in these datasets, press the Change View button in the dataset title bar and select Live Preview. It may be useful to rename these datasets with more meaningful names. To do this, right-click on the dataset, select Properties, and enter the desired title. To create a new dataset that contains the records from both of these datasets, we need to relate the records based both on the order number and on the name. This will require a double join between the existing datasets. There are two ways to do this double join, and we will illustrate both approaches. The first way to do this is to select both datasets, and then choose the Inner Join option from the Join Table button in the toolbar. This allows you to specify the joins that will relate the records in the two datasets. In this case, we need one join relating the records based on the order number, and a second join relating the datasets based on the product names. These two joins together will ensure that each return is listed next to the corresponding order. The equality operator indicates that we will be performing an inner join. The inner join preserves only the records that have a match in both tables, meaning only the orders that actually have a corresponding return. To create the joined dataset, press the OK button. The new dataset is shown at the bottom and is displayed in Composition View, which indicates the joins that are being used to create this dataset. Before we look at the data in this resulting dataset, let's take a look at the other approach to creating these joins. The second approach to joining datasets together uses simple click and drag operations. To join these two datasets together on the order num column, simply click on the order num column in the orders dataset and drag the column onto the order num column in the returns dataset. To add the second join on the name column, simply click and drag the name column from the orders dataset to the returns dataset within the joined dataset. This creates the required second join. This resulting dataset is the same as the dataset that we produced earlier using the Inner Join option from the Join Table button in the toolbar. To preview the data in this dataset, select the bottom dataset, and then press the Preview button in the toolbar. Note that this new dataset contains all of the columns from the two existing datasets. Each return is listed next to the corresponding order based on the order number and the product name. Note that because we used an inner join, orders that do not have an associated return are not contained in this dataset. If we wish to preserve orders that do not have a return, we need to change the inner join to an outer join. To do this, close the preview. To change the join specification, right-click on the dataset and select Join Properties. To create a left-outer join that will preserve all of the order information regardless of whether or not there is a return, select the Include All Values options on the left side. Then press OK. Note that the join symbol shown in the composition view has changed to indicate that this is now an outer join. Preview the dataset again, and note that the resulting dataset now contains orders both with returns and orders without returns. Rename the dataset as desired, mark the result as primary, and save the dataset. You can use the same procedures to join more than two tables. For example, in this case, we'd like to join the state stats table to the divisions table and the regions table based on the division and region code columns. To use the first approach to joining these tables, select the three tables and then select Inner Join from the Join Table button in the toolbar. Specify the required joins between these three datasets. Press OK to create the joined dataset. Observe that the joined dataset at the bottom contains all of the columns from the three data blocks and includes the specified joins between the region code columns and the division code columns. You can also use the click and drag approach to creating joins between multiple tables. First, we'll join the state stats table with the regions table by clicking and dragging the region code column from the state stats table onto the code column in the regions table. This creates a joined dataset with a single join between those columns. To create the second join, drag the code column from the divisions table onto the division code column in the bottom joined table. This creates the second join, joining the divisions table to the state stats table. In all of the cases where you create an inner join, you will find that the resulting join table has duplicate columns. In this case, we have a duplicate region code column and a duplicate division code column. To hide the redundant columns, switch the table to the default view by pressing the Change View button in the title bar and selecting Default. Then hide the columns as desired by clicking on the visibility icon in the column header. To view the data in the dataset, press the Change View button and select Live Preview. To perform an inequality join, simply use the appropriate inequality join operator. For example, in this case, we'd like to perform a join between the sales this year and sales last year datasets and preserve only the categories where the sales this year exceeded the sales last year. To do this, select the two datasets and then select Inner Join from the Join Table button in the toolbar. Specify the desired join conditions, in this case, performing an inner join on the category, and performing the desired inequality join on the total sales columns. The inequality join condition specifies that we want to preserve only the records where the total sales value from the sales this year dataset exceeds the corresponding total sales value from the sales last year dataset. Press OK to create the new dataset. The new dataset returns only categories where the sales this year exceeded the sales last year.